What if everything you've been told about intelligence is wrong? Most people imagine a highly intelligent person as someone who gets perfect grades, solves difficult math problems, or speaks with an impressive vocabulary. But psychologists have discovered something surprising. Some of the strongest signs of intelligence are behaviors that many people actually consider strange, annoying, or even weaknesses. In fact, you might be showing these signs every day without realizing what they mean. And the third sign is so counterintuitive that it often causes intelligent people to underestimate themselves for years. So if you've ever wondered whether intelligence is about more than just IQ tests and academic success, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you may see yourself very differently. Let's begin. Sign number 1. You talk to yourself. Now before you dismiss this as weird, hear me out. Imagine you're looking for your keys. You walk around the house saying, "Where did I leave them? They should be on the table. No, maybe I left them in my room." You're talking to yourself, and according to psychology research, that's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, studies suggest that self-directed speech can improve concentration, memory, and problem solving. Researchers found that when people verbally guide themselves through a task, they often perform better than those who stay completely silent. Why? Because talking to yourself helps organize your thoughts. Your brain is constantly processing information. Sometimes it's messy. Thoughts overlap. Ideas collide. And verbalizing can help you make sense of it all. Distractions appear. But when you put those thoughts into words, you create structure. It's like turning a chaotic crowd into an orderly line. Many successful athletes do this. Many entrepreneurs do it. Even scientists and inventors have been known to think aloud while working through difficult problems. What looks strange from the outside is often a sign of active mental processing on the inside. And here's something interesting. Highly intelligent people tend to spend a lot of time inside their own minds. They're constantly analyzing, questioning, imagining, and evaluating. Self-talk becomes a tool that helps them navigate that mental complexity. So, if you've ever caught yourself talking through a problem out loud, don't be too quick to judge yourself. Your brain may simply be trying to work more efficiently. But that's only the beginning, because the second sign reveals something even more powerful. Sign number 2. You are extremely curious. Not just curious about important things, curious about everything. You see a random fact online, and suddenly you're researching it for 30 minutes. You hear a strange word, and immediately want to know its origin. You ask questions that other people never think to ask. Why? Because curiosity is one of the strongest predictors of intellectual growth. Researchers have found that highly curious people continuously seek new information, which helps them build richer and more connected knowledge networks inside the brain. Think about it. Most people stop when they get an answer. Curious people keep going until they uncover the next question. People ask another question, and then another, and then another. They don't just want information, they want understanding. This habit creates a powerful advantage over time. Imagine two people reading the same article. One reads it and moves on. The other starts asking questions. How does this work? Why does this happen? What caused it? Could there be another explanation? Years later, the second person has accumulated an enormous amount of knowledge without even realizing it. Not because they were forced to learn, because they genuinely wanted to know. Albert Einstein once said that he had no special talents. He was only passionately curious. Whether or not that's completely true, it highlights an important point. Intelligence isn't just about what you know. It's about your desire to learn what you don't know. And highly intelligent people rarely lose that desire. They remain students of life, even when they become experts, even when they become successful, even when everyone around them assumes they already know enough. But now we arrive at the most surprising sign, the one that confuses people the most. And if you've experienced it, there's a good chance you've questioned yourself because of it. Sign number 3. You often doubt your own intelligence. At first, this sounds completely backwards. Shouldn't intelligent people be confident in how smart they are? Not necessarily. Psychologists have studied a phenomenon known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. In simple terms, people with limited knowledge often overestimate their abilities. Meanwhile, people with greater knowledge tend to recognize how much they still don't know. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean. The more of the ocean you see, the more aware you become of how enormous it is. Knowledge works the same way. The more you learn, the more you realize how much remains unknown. This awareness often creates self-doubt. Highly intelligent people frequently question their opinions. They reconsider their conclusions. They look for flaws in their reasoning. They worry they might be missing something important. From the outside, this can look like insecurity, but in many cases, it's intellectual humility. And intellectual humility is one of the most valuable traits a person can possess, because it keeps the mind open. It prevents arrogance. It encourages learning, and it allows people to update their beliefs when new evidence appears. Ironically, the people who know the least are often the most certain, and the people who know the most are often the most cautious. That's why many intelligent individuals struggle to recognize their own intelligence. They compare themselves to experts. They focus on what they don't know. They see their mistakes more clearly than their strengths. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many thoughtful and intelligent people spend years wondering whether they're actually smart enough. Not because they lack intelligence, but because they're aware of the complexity of the world. And that awareness creates humility. Now let's connect everything we've discussed. Talking to yourself, being deeply curious, and doubting your own intelligence. At first glance, these traits seem unrelated, but they all point to the same thing: an active mind, a mind that constantly explores, questions, reflects, learns, and grows. The truth is, intelligence isn't always obvious. It doesn't always look impressive. It doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it appears as quiet curiosity. Sometimes it appears as self-reflection. Sometimes it appears as a person asking questions while everyone else assumes they already know the answers. And perhaps that's why intelligence is so often misunderstood. Because society tends to celebrate confidence, but intelligence often looks like curiosity. Society celebrates certainty, but intelligence often looks like questioning. Society celebrates having answers, but intelligence often begins with asking better questions. So if you recognized yourself in these signs, remember this: being intelligent doesn't mean knowing everything. It means remaining open to learning anything. It means having the courage to question your assumptions, challenge your beliefs, and continue exploring the unknown. Because the smartest people aren't the ones who think they've reached the destination. They're the ones who never stop the journey. And that may be the greatest sign of intelligence of all. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more psychology and self-growth content.